Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another special report. Today's date is August 12, 2022, episode 364, new. This is a new channel for me. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share. Okay, FBI raid, M. Garland, that would be Merrick Garland, and Jill B., that would be Jill Biden. What is their relationship and how does it relate to the FBI raid recently on President Trump's home in Florida? So let's get started. Some of my sources for this are God in the Bible, Patriot Subscribers, Amanda Grace, Prophet of God, on the Beforeitsnews On the Fringe, and Next News, and some other sources. Okay. I had a Patriot subscriber send some information to me that said Navy SEALs knew about the FBI raid that was going to be held at Mar-a-Lago at President Trump's home. And they offered to come and repel the FBI raid. President Trump said no, he didn't want any bloodshed. That's our president. Okay, on the Fringe, on Beforeitsnews on August 10, said that he had information that the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago was related to information that had reached the FBI that there were documents being held there that would implicate the FBI. Well, let's recall Comey, a former head of the FBI and HRC, and 30,000 emails she had that were like cleaned up, and Comey didn't see anything wrong with her putting private, confidential federal government emails on public servers. Well, of course not. That she sent to where? China? All right. Now we have more information from Next News. 2 months before the raid, and that was August 9, I believe, President Trump received a grand jury subpoena. From who? From Merrick Garland, because he is the Attorney General. Okay, Attorney General of the DOJ, Merrick Garland. All right, and we'll see. Merrick's been in the employ of the deep state for a long, long time. All right. And so President Trump and his attorneys received a grand jury subpoena from the DOJ, 2 months. So that happened August 9, so July, June maybe, or May. And they turned over the evidence that was requested, including surveillance camera films of the security cameras that President Trump has in Florida. And they also let federal agents and a senior DOJ attorney tour of the President Trump's private storage locker where he kept his attorneys would, keep confidential information. Now, we see, now today, so this, the raid happened August 9. And today on August 11, DOJ Attorney General Merrick Garland files a motion to unseal the warrant that led to the raid of Mar-a-Lago. Now, let's get into who is Merrick Garland. Okay, let's see. So Merrick Garland, current Attorney General of the DOJ. Oh, what was he doing in 1995? Well, he was in Oklahoma where he oversaw the prosecution of who? Timothy McVeigh. That had to do with the the bombing of the federal building, Murrah building, and even in 1995, Merrick Garland led the prosecution of Timothy McVeigh. Well, we the people truthers now know about the blowing up of the Murrah building in 1995 in Oklahoma City. Timothy McVeigh was a Marine, also a CIA operative set up by the CIA to take the blame for, he drove like a pickup truck, some kind of truck in front of the Murrah building. Supposedly it had fertilizer on it and blew up this building that had all these federal records in it that had to do with a lot of deep state people, including HRC and others. And it came out that later a truck parked in front of this federal building blowing up would not take down the building. What would take down the building was the same operation we saw in 9/11, where individuals had come into the building and put explosives in to implode the building. And who prosecuted that? Merrick Garland in 1995. And then, guess what happened after what's being called the criminal regime? In January of 2021, when the actor puppet JB supposedly became the head of the so-called government. We know now we don't have an operating DOJ. We don't have an operating federal government. We don't have an operating Supreme Court. We don't have an operating Congress since this time. But then in March of 2021, who was appointed Attorney General of the DOJ? That would be Merrick Garland, because he'd been helping the deep state all along since in the 90s. Now, who can hide evil from God? Let's see. So Amanda Grace, prophet of God, came out with this. And that was on, let's see, when she received this word. She received this word from the Lord August 2nd, 2022. And the raid, the FBI raid, was, I think, August 9 of 2022. And this is what she got from the Lord. The deep state is going to tumble down the hill. Now, we know that famous children's poem, Jack and Jill fell down the hill. The deep state is going to tumble down the hill before winter. And this came out. Yeah, the deep state has filled Washington, D.C. with unclean spirits. Satan has led the deep state down a steep hill into an abyss. Now, this is what Amanda Grace received. This was on August 2. And there's going to be an acceleration of a catalyst to bring down the deep state who are around President Trump. Okay, we're seeing it. Now, this came out, word of the Lord to Amanda Grace, prophet of God. The wife of the president, that would be Jill Biden, cuts deals and has secret meetings with Garland. And Garland will lose prestige. And we see that happening now, don't we? Because Garland, this word of the Lord, Garland, has participated in evil deals and has shed blood. Because part of that federal Murrah building coming down in 1995 in Oklahoma City included a nursery. But the deep state didn't care that toddlers were killed in their evil plot. So that's going on, and we see God is coming forth and revealing what's going on behind the scenes. So if we thought that FBI raid just suddenly materialized, no, I think they were drawn into it. I think Sun Tzu, Art of War, was at play here. Oh, let out a little information and draw them in, and then we'll see how this goes. But God also was aware of this and released information to Amanda Grace before the deal. The wife of the president, that's Jill B., will cut deals in secret meetings, and Garland will lose prestige. We need to be in prayer for America and the return of our elected president soon. I love you, and I'll see you soon.